Yeah, go ahead, Piyush.
Discussion. So today we are going to see like how to configure the code in Eclipse and how to get access to the Tririga functions. Okay. So Eclipse, like it's simple steps. Like you have to go to Eclipse site, download. First we have to install the JDK. Then you have to download the Eclipse from the eclipse.org. In Eclipse version we can use for Java integration, and then simply create new project. And as I mentioned in the previous sessions also, we have to create one package there. Inside that package source folder, com.trariga.custom. Okay, once the project is created, uh, the first thing we have to do is we have to add those jars. Okay, the Trariga business connect dot jar and Trariga custom task dot jar to this project. So to do that, we have to right click on the project, click on the build path, then configure build path, and we have to add external jars. Okay. These are simple steps. I can show you this first. Okay, so I have created this project. Uh, we have to simply just create a new project, Java project. Okay, in demo, we have to hit like a finish. Once the project is created, close all the others. Okay. Simply, we have to right click on this project, build path, configure. Then from add external jars, we have to select the jars, the two jars, custom business connect and Tririga, this one. And to print like all the logs, we need this log4j jar. So we can print all these logs in the error logs, error log. Apply and save and close. This is the like the basic setup for the Tririga project. Then the like setup for the Tririga function, okay, like where we get all the Tririga functions. There are two resources we have. One is we can simply download this PDF file. So every functions require like request and response for every method. Tririga method is present here. So if we are using, we want to like get data from Tririga query. So we have a function try named query. Okay. So we can like in this PDF we can get like what are the parameters we have to pass, then what is the return, like return what this request will return us, the what is the result, then what type of exceptions thrown by this API. So and the request parameters. Okay, so we'll get the request parameters here. So based on this request parameter, we have to write our code. Okay, and based on the response, we'll get our result in the response. Okay, so we have one way we can directly go through this PDF and we can get these requests. Okay, the Tririga functions and all. And the other way is we need to configure our SOAP API. Okay, that function application. So to download SOAP API, we have this URL. So when we uh, click on this URL, we will open this page. We will get one open source software. You have to click on that to download that software. I already did that. So we'll see how to configure that one also. So simply we have to like create a new SOAP project there, enter the project name and the URL, like the Tririga URL /ws/Tririga web services and WSDL. And we have to pass this, and then we'll get the list of all methods and the parameter request parameters. Okay, so simply I'll create one project, create new project. So create new SOAP project, any name, so Tririga and the URL. Okay. So URL we have to pass this. So click on OK. So it will load all the TRIRIGA functions here. So we can get the all functions here. Okay. So here we have these many functions in TRIRIGA. We can use these functions. So as we are going to see this function run name query to get data from TRIRIGA query in Java. So we'll click on the request, and here we get the request, like the body request body. This is the XML format here. So based on this request, we have to create our Java code. Okay, this code like this. Okay. So this is for like creating SOAP UI. This is the UI we get after logging. So the next part is coming the run name query. Okay, so to write Java code, first we have to check the WS parameter, like the after the body. So we'll get this run name query. So we can write our Java code using this parameter run name query. Inside this opening and closing, we have these many parameters. Okay, so we have to recognize this, and based on these parameters, we have to write our Java code like this. Here mentioned run name query. So we will write our function name as a run name query. Then the second parameter is project. Okay, so we have to pass project name. Then the module, here mentioned module object. Okay, so I mentioned here try contract module, try real estate BO. Okay, object type name is BO name. Then we have query name. So we have to pass query name to this function. Okay, then the filters. Okay, I have passed null. If we don't want to pass any parameter, then we have to pass null. Okay, so I pass for the filters. Okay, filter starts from here to here. So I pass null for this uh, uh, for this parameter, and then the start. Okay, so start with 1 means we have to start with the first record, and the maximum result count is 2. Okay, in this like shown in the picture 2. But if we want if you want two numbers, only two records, so we'll pass 2. But if you want all results, the all records from this query inside the Java code, so we will pass -1 here. Okay, this is the request body. So you'll see here same code written here in the Java. Okay, so using Java object only we can access these functions. So I have this TRIRIGA function, TRIRIGA object. So using this TRIRIGA object dot, I can get all list of all the methods here. Okay, control space dot and control space. So I click on run. So I'll get run name query, run dynamic query like this. So simply we have to select our method and hit enter. So we'll get that query syntax over here. Okay, like this, and we have to pass parameter as per our requirement. So I pass. So project name is blank. Also, it is acceptable here. So project name is blank. I saying try contract, and this is the TRIRIGA query. So to run this query, we have to create this query inside the TRIRIGA. Okay. So I have created this query. Okay, this is the query, and we have to use this query name only there. So we'll get all these records. Okay, what are the records here? So we'll get all these records inside our Java code. Okay, so first I created the query and I use that query name here. Then null for filter, 1 for start with first record, and -1 is for all records. We want all records from this query. Okay, this is the request. And we'll get response here. Okay. So for response also, we have another like in the PDF, you will get this XML. Okay, for the response. This is the request parameters, and this one is the for response. So based on this, similar as we created the request, similarly we have to create the code for the response also. For that we have to check for the parameter like the attribute name. Like the first one is the query response helper, and inside this query response helper we have query response helpers. Inside helpers we have helper, and inside helper we have this query response columns, and inside the columns we have column, every column, and then we'll get the labels, these parameters. Okay, so we'll get response in this way. So based on this, okay, again we have to write our Java code. So every time if we want to run any function from the Tariga, so first you have to learn about this response and request parameters. Okay, and everything is mentioned in this PDF, like every method. So based on this, we have created this function, that query response helper. It is array. Okay, as we see here in the PDF. Okay, query name. This start from here, and it has this query response column array. Okay, we have query response array opening and closing. So based on this, we have to decide the parameter is like that object is array or not. Okay, query response column is repeatedly mentioned here. So based on that, we will decide like this is the array or not. So query response helper is the array of array. Okay, so we'll query out, like we will call our function get query response helpers. Okay, on this response, okay, we have stored the result of this run name query in QR. QR is the query result. Okay, and on that QR we have called our function get query response helpers. Okay, so we'll get, and on that query response helpers, again we have iterated on using the for loop, and that on the response helper. Okay, again we called our get query response columns. Okay, like here, get query response columns, we call on these columns. So totally depend on the response and the request mentioned in the PDF. We have to write this code. Okay, and so like we get the columns in the QRC. Okay, query response columns. Like we took here the array, like this, like we have checked in the PDF. So we have multiple columns. So we have taken for that one array. We have stored the result in the QRC, and in each QRC, okay, in each QRC we have the similar parameters: label name, section, UOM. Here also again label name, section, then UOM, like this, and the value. So it will iter on every record from this query. It will give a result here inside this for query response column. Okay, and then the last step is here. We want the label and the value from this query. So for that, we have called this function get label, get value. So for each parameter from this response, we will get one function. Like if there is a attribute label, so we will have one function get label, then get name, get section, like this. So based on that, we will create our Java code, and we will run our code. Okay. So is there a question in understanding this XML?
Please, one quick question.
Yeah.
This call will return all the records. For example, if there are 1 million records, will it return 1 million records, or is there any pagination?
No, it will get all 1 million records here inside the Java code. So we can set like the last parameter here